subscribe to the channel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! How are we, lads? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to a video that I wasn't planning on doing until January, maybe even early February, but it is December 13, and I've seen a few people have done this, and I thought to myself, why the hell not? This is the Nick from Australia, way too early NRL 2023 ladder predictor. I'm going to get the NRL website up on the screen in just a moment. I'm going to do the 2023 ladder predictor, and we'll see how we go. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be quite difficult, but I'm really looking forward to doing this. But if you guys are new to the YouTube channel, make sure you like and subscribe. We are just over 2,000 subscribers at the moment. We're trying to get to 3K. Hopefully we get there by mid next year before Origin. That'll be the plan. The one thing that I want to say about this tonight, now a lot of people are probably going to get upset. Now, let me just start by saying, if I put your team in the bottom 4 or outside the top 8, don't get too upset. It's only December. It's December 13. Excuse me. I will do another one of these before the season starts. This is just a little bit of a muck around. What I think may happen if the NRL season started tomorrow. I can change my mind just like that this time of year because so much can happen. But these are just early predictions, way too early predictions. They're going to change, so don't get upset. Don't take it to heart. We're just going to see what we come up with here. I've done the ladder predictor a couple of times since it came out, and I was actually a little bit surprised with what I ended up with. So we'll see how we go. But ladies and gentlemen, this is enough of my face that you're going to see for the time being. Let's get into it. Here we go. So some of these are going to be realistic, but you got to remember as well, ladies and gentlemen, there are going to be upsets throughout the season. There are going to be surprise results. I'm going to try and be as fair as possible. I'm going to make this as realistic as I possibly can. There will be no bias towards the Cowboys, although I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'll probably have us in the top 8 somewhere. Just don't get too upset. Anyway, let's go. And we're going to start with the season opener. Parramatta versus Melbourne. I'm going with Melbourne. Melbourne don't lose season openers. And with the margin, we'll go Melbourne by 8 to start the season. Melbourne to beat the Eels. Warriors and the Knights. Tough game, but I think the Warriors win in New Zealand. Warriors are too good over there. We'll go Warriors by 4. Bit of a tighter contest, that one. All right. Penrith versus Brisbane. Penrith at home are just a different level. We'll go Penrith by 18. We all know how good they are. Manly and the Dogs at Brookie. This is actually really difficult to pick. I genuinely don't know which way to go here. I could literally flip a coin and That would be my pick for this match. But I'm gonna go with let's go with Manly at home. Manly at home. We'll go Manly by 2. Real tight game there. Cowboys versus the Raiders. We've got to go with the Cowboys at home. Closer than you think, though. We'll go the Cowboys by 8. Cowboys by 8. Hello in the live chat to National Sports Loaded as well. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Cronulla versus South. This is a beauty, but I'm going to go... let's go Souths. Souths by 4. Tight game. Tight game. I might just move the laptop a bit for that way because it's starting to really annoy me where I've actually got the laptop. I'll move it back to here a little bit. All right, Cronulla versus Souths. We're going to, Souths. Souths by 4. Tight game. Real tight game. All right, what do we got? Dolphins and the Roosters. The Dolphins debut. Roosters, but by 12. Roosters are really slow starters usually. So we'll go the Chooks by 12. Tigers and the Titans. Both teams absolutely sucked last year. Titans' record in Sydney is horrible. So we'll go the West Tigers to win, and we'll go by 8. Okay. That's round 1 out of the way. Let's go to round number 2. Panthers and Rabbitohs. This is a good game, this one. But at Penrith Stadium, you just can't go against them. You've got to go the Riff. But I'll keep it at 12. Penrith by 12. Parramatta versus Cronulla. This is a tough game, but I don't think Parramatta will lose the first 2 games in a row at CommBank. So let's go Parramatta by 4. The big one here, Broncos and the Cowboys. The Cowboys actually have a very good draw to start the year. They don't have that many difficult games. I think this is one of the hard ones, and I'm actually going to go with Brisbane. Brisbane by 1. I'll be at the game when I probably start crying. So let's just go Broncos by 1 so people don't get too upset. And I want to be realistic. Cowboys won't win every game. So we'll go the Bronx by 1 in that one. Roosters, Warriors. You got to go the Roosters at home. They'll probably win by 18 points, to be honest with you. That'd be too good for that one. Dolphins and Raiders at Moreton Daily Stadium at Redcliffe. I'm going to go with the Raiders. I know the Dolphins are probably going to be good at home, reasonable at home, but I'm just going to go with Canberra in that one. Storm and the Bulldogs. I can't pick the Bulldogs against the Storm in Melbourne. I'll go the Storm. I'll go the Storm by 18. They'll probably run away with that game, knowing the Storm. West Tigers and Newcastle Knights. Tigers at Leichhardt. I reckon they'll win. And I reckon they'll win by 2. Tigers are 2-0 to start the year, and everyone's shocked. And the Dragons and the Titans at Nostrata. I'll go the Dragons, and I'll go the Dragons by 2. How are the Dragons first on the ladder? It is beyond me. Round number 3. Thursday night at Brookie, Manly versus Para. I'm going to go with Manly, and I'm going to go Manly by 4. Knights and the Dolphins. Can the Dolphins get their first win of the season? I'm going to say no. Yes, they will. Dolphins' first wins against Newcastle, and it will be by 4. It will be tight. Roosters, Rabbitohs at Allianz or Trellianz, but I'm going with the Bunnies to win. The Bunnies to win by 8. Souths to knock off the Chooks. Titans versus Storm. Yeah, the Gold Coast might as well just give up at this point. We'll go Melbourne, and we'll go Melbourne by 38 points. I don't care where this game's being played at. Melbourne will destroy the Gold Coast. Cowboys and the Warriors in Townsville. Cowboys bounce back and win, probably by 24 points. That'll probably be too good for the Warriors. Broncos and Dragons at Suncorp. I'm going to go with the Broncos. I'm going to go the Broncos by 8. A little bit too good for the Dragons. Dogs and Tigers. This is the Bulldogs' first win of the year. This is where the Dogs dominate. Bulldogs win, and they win by 24. They win well. They win well. And Canberra versus Cronulla. I'm going Cronulla to win down there in a tough game. Cronulla by 4. And who gets the bye that weekend? I've got no idea. Round 4. We got the grand final rematch. It's Parramatta versus Penrith. And I'm going with the Eels. The Panthers' first loss of the season is going to be against Parramatta at CommBank. We're going to go Parramatta by 4. Penrith's first loss of the year will happen in round 4, in my opinion. Melbourne versus West Tigers. Yeah, a bit like the Titans. They're going to get smashed. Melbourne by 38. Could even be by 50, let's be honest. Dolphins and the Broncos. Oh, this will be a good game. I'll be at this game, I'm pretty sure. But we're going to go the Broncos here. And we're going to go the Broncos by 18. Too good. Cowboys versus Titans in Townsville. Well, this is going to be an absolute bloodbath. Cowboys win, and the Cowboys win by 48. Suck my dick, Titans. You're going to get smashed in that one. Rabbitohs and Seagulls. This is a tough game, but I'm going to go the Bunnies. I'm going to go the Bunnies by 2. That'll be a good game, that one against Manly. Warriors and the Bulldogs in New Zealand. I'm going to go with the Warriors. I don't know why. Probably because it's in New Zealand. Warriors by 8. And the Knights and the Raiders. Oh, it's still 2 more games. I thought that was the last one. Knights and Raiders. We'll go with the Knights to get their first win in Newey. I think it's their first win in Newey. Knights to beat the Raiders by 4. And Dragons and Sharks. I'll go with Cronulla. And I'll go with Cronulla by 8. Big rivalry game, that one. All right. Round 5. Start off with a pretty decent game here. The Roosters and the Eels at Allianz. And I'm going to go with the Roosters. I'll go with the Roosters by 8. Canberra versus Penrith. We're going to go with Penrith. And I reckon Penrith win by like 18. They'll be far too good in that one. What have we got? Rabbitohs versus the Storm. I'm going to go with the Storm. Let's go the Storm by 4. Manly and Knights. Yeah, look, we've got to go Manly. It's that Mudgee. We've got Manly by 18. Tom Trbojevic might have a field day in that one. Dragons and Dolphins. Yeah, wow, fuck. This is tough. Dolphins to win in Sydney for the first time. Fuck it. Why not? Dolphins by 4. Broncos and Tigers. You can't go against the Broncos there. Broncos by 18 or so. Sharks and the Warriors. Got to go with the Sharks. Sharks by... Let's go by 4, a real tight one. And Dogs and Cowboys. I feel sick doing this, but I'm actually going to pick the Bulldogs to beat us. I don't know why. Dogs by 2. And I just need to go back for a second, lads. I think I've got Penrith already losing 2 games. I don't think I was meant to do that. I think I made a minor mistake. Let me just double check that. Who did I have Penrith losing to twice? Did I muck up somewhere? Where's Penrith? Or was it they had the bye? Was that what? Oh, they had the bye. I think that's what it was. Yeah, they had the bye. My apologies. Just wanted to make sure of that. All right, where are we? We're in the round number 6. This is the Good Friday round. What a game to start off. Melbourne and Roosters. We're going to go for an upset. The Roosters to win in Melbourne. And we're going to go the Roosters by 1. Maybe a Sam Walker field goal or something. Bulldogs and the Rabbitohs. We're going to go Bulldogs to break that little... They haven't won a Good Friday for a while. We'll go Bulldogs by 4. Bulldogs to break that little drought. Cowboys and Dolphins. Cowboys to bounce back from that loss of the Dogs. Cowboys by 24 points. Panthers and Seagulls. I like the Seagulls, but I think Penrith are too good. Penrith by 24 as well. Make a bit of a statement. Broncos and the Raiders. This is an interesting game. We're going to go the Broncos again, but I reckon this will be a tight one. Broncos by 4. Titans and Dragons. Titans are 0-4. I hate their guts, but we're going to give them a win for just give them a win. The Titans have got a tough run, man. We'll give the Titans a win by 4. They need a win, and we'll give it to them. Newcastle versus New Zealand. I'm going to go the Knights at Newcastle. Newcastle by 8. And what have we got? Tigers and the Eels. I'm going to go the Eels. And they're going to win by 8. Okay. Let's go to round 7. Dolphins and the Rabbitohs. Yeah, Rabbitohs. Rabbitohs for me. Rabbitohs by like 18. That'd be too good in that one. Oh, Cronulla versus Roosters. This is a good Friday night fixture. I like this game. I'm going to go with Cronulla. And I'm going to go Cronulla by 4. Manly and Melbourne. I want to go Manly, but I think I'll go Melbourne. I think I'll go Melbourne by 2. Real tight game, that one. Warriors and Cowboys. Cowboys just That New Zealand trip won't be easy. I reckon we'll just scrape them by 2. Knights and the Panthers. Yeah, Panthers probably win by 24 or something. Titans and Broncos. We'll go the Broncos by like 18. Raiders and Dragons in Canberra. Dragons' record in Canberra is horrible, so we'll go the Raiders. Raiders by 4. Bit of a tight game. And Eels and the Dogs. I'm going the Dogs. Doggies to win, yeah, by 12. 12 is a good score. Let's go to round 8. I'm enjoying this, guys. I hope everyone in the live chat's enjoying this. It's so unpredictable, man. All right. Rabbitohs and the Panthers. We're going to go the Panthers. They're too good. Panthers by 12, I think's a fair margin. Parramatta versus Brisbane in Darwin. We're going to go with Parramatta here. We're going to go Parramatta by 4. Bulldogs and Sharks. This is tough, but I'm going to go the Bulldogs. Bulldogs by 4. Should be a good game, that one. Cowboys and Knights and Townsville. You've got to go Cowboys. But we'll go by 18. Dolphins and Titans. This is difficult to pick. I'm going to go with the Titans. I don't know why. Titans by 2. Titans to beat the Dolphins by 2. I don't know why. Tigers and Manly. We'll go Manly. Manly by 8. I think Manly win that. And Anzac Day. Fuck, this is big. Roosters and Dragons. But we'll go Roosters. Dragons won Anzac Day last year, so we'll give the Roosters this one. Storm and Warriors. Yeah, nah. Sorry, Warriors, but these are going to get smoked. I reckon Storm by like 38, to be honest. All right, let's go to round 9. Oh, this is typical. Sharks versus Cowboys at Shark Park. If you go back to the qualifying final from 2022, you'll know what happened here. But I'm going to give it to the Sharks. We're going to let the Sharks have their little bit of revenge. We'll give the Sharks a 2-point win, and I'll probably smash a canvas or something after that game. So we'll give the Sharks that one. Eels and the Knights, we'll give that one to Parramatta. We'll go Parramatta by 4. Broncos and Rabbitohs at Suncorp. I'm actually going to go the Rabbitohs here. The Bunnies to win. Rabbitohs to win by 4. That'll be a good game, that one. I'm looking forward to that. The Adam Reynolds Cup, it's always good to watch. Raiders and Dolphins. We're going to give this one to the Raiders. I think that one's a Wagga Wagga. Raiders by 8. Manly and the Gold Coast. We'll go Manly. We'll go Manly by like 18 points. Penrith and the West Tigers out at Bathurst. I think Penrith will win by like 48. Tigers are going to get destroyed. Warriors and Roosters. I reckon the Warriors could win, but we'll go Roosters by 2. Real nail biter there. Dragons and Dogs. You know what? Let's give this one to the Dragons. Dragons are due for a win, and we'll give them a 2-point win over the improved Bulldogs. Now let's go to round 10. Now this is Magic Round. Magic Round is the best. It's the best weekend. Before I go to it, let's have that. That's the current top 8. Storm, Panthers, Roosters, Cowboys, Broncos, Manly, Sharks, Eels. So not a bad ladder going into Magic Round. And we've got the Bulldogs and the Raiders for Magic Round. We're going to go with the Bulldogs to win by like 4. Real tight game. Manly and Broncos, Anthony Seibold Cup, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go with Brisbane. I don't know why. Brisbane by 1. Maybe an Adam Reynolds field goal or something. Warriors and Penrith. Panthers win probably by 30. Sorry, Warriors supporters, but it's not looking good. Sharks and the Dolphins. I reckon the Dolphins could potentially knock them off, but we're going to go Cronulla by 2. Storm and the Rabbitohs. Call me crazy, but I'm actually going to tip the Rabbitohs to win. I don't know why. I think South at Suncorp can actually win against the Storm. I don't know why. It's a weird one, but I've got a feeling. Tigers and Dragons. I'm going to go to the Tigers. Tigers will show up for some. I reckon they'll show up. I don't know why, but they'll show up. Roosters and Cowboys. Fight me, Roosters fans, but Cowboys win by 4. I ain't going to Magic Round to lose to them again. It already happened once. It ain't happening again. And Parramatta will beat the Gold Coast by probably 48 points or something. Could be 50. Who knows? Mitchell Moses will have a masterclass if he's not gone. All right, let's go to round 11. Melbourne and Brisbane. This is a good game, but we've got to go Melbourne. Down there in Melbourne. We'll go Melbourne by 8. Dogs and the Warriors. We'll give this one to the Doggies. We'll go to Dogs by 4. Warriors to show something in that game. Panthers and Roosters. Oh, I want to go Roosters, but I can't. Penrith win. by 4. Real tight game, that. Souths versus West Tigers. Got to go the Bunnies. 24-point win. Latrell Mitchell just masterclass. Cowboys, too good for the Dragons. Cowboys by like 18. Raiders and Eels in Canberra. We're going to go to Canberra. Canberra have a good record against Parramatta down there, but I don't know. Canberra just due. We'll give that win to Canberra. Newcastle and the Gold Coast. I don't know why, but I'm going to tip the Gold Coast to win. I have no idea why I'm doing it, but I'm picking the Gold Coast to win that game. And Manly versus Cronulla. We're going to give it to Cronulla, man. I know their record at Brookie is a bit skeptical, but I'm just going to put my faith in the Sharks in that one. In a real grinder. Round 12. Broncos and Panthers. Sorry, Broncos fans, but you're not winning against Penrith. I'm sorry. Penrith win by 18. Dragons and Roosters at Cogra. We'll go to Chooks. Chooks by 8. Rabbitohs and the Eels. This is a good game. We'll give it to Souths. Souths are going to be hard to beat in 2023, in my opinion. Sharks in Newcastle down at Coffs Harbour. Let's go to the Sharks by 2. Tight game for the people at Coffs Harbour. Tigers and Cowboys, yeah, Cowboys, but I reckon by 4. For some reason we have a shit record at Leichhardt. Dolphins and Storm, got to go Storm. Dolphins, they'll be up for it, but Storm will win by like 24 or something. Dogs, Titans, Dogs, 24-point win. And Canberra versus Manly. And Manly just. Tommy Turbo will get him home in the end. All right. Now, I think we're just about the halfway mark now, so things are looking interesting. All right, now round 13. I think this is the Origin round, so I think Origin players are out for this fixture. Okay. Dolphins and Dragons. We gave the Dolphins a win against the Dragons earlier. Dragons will get one back on them. So Dragons by 4. Eels and Cowboys. Look, I'm a Cowboys fan, but we'll have Origin players out, so we'll be depleted. We'll go Para by 8. That's a revenge game. Warriors and Broncos. Origin round. Warriors will have everyone playing. Broncos will have a few out, like Carrigan and potentially Cobbo and Oates and all these sort of players. So we'll give that one to the Warriors. Rabbitohs and Raiders Origin round. So we're going to go Canberra. Canberra will win, and they'll win by 4. Knights and Manly. We'll give this one to Newcastle because it's Origin round, so players are out. Knights by 8. All right. Let's go to round 14 now. I think this is the weekend where Origin players back up. Tigers and Raiders. I don't know why, but I'm giving it to the Tigers. I do not know why. I do not know why, but I'm going the Tigers to beat the Raiders. Crazy prediction. Warriors and Dolphins. Dolphins will go to New Zealand and win. I don't know why, but they will. Titans and Rabbits. Rabbits by 24. Sharks and Broncos. We're going to give this one to the Broncos. I reckon they can go to Shark Park and cause a huge, huge upset. I don't know why. Roosters and the Dogs. We'll go to Chooks. We'll go to Chooks by 4. Cowboys and Storm. I'm going to give it to the Storm as much as I don't want to. Storm by 12. I don't know why, but I'm doing it. I'm giving it to the Storm. Panthers will destroy the Dragons by like 30. And I think that's it for that round. Okay. Round 15. Titans and Tigers. What a shit game. We'll give this one to the Gold Coast. I'll get a bit of revenge from round 1. Titans by 2. Raiders and Warriors. I'm going with the Warriors. They're due, man. Warriors by 8. Comes Nickel Clockstad to destroy the Raiders. Manly and Dolphins. We'll go with Manly. Manly by 24. What do we got? Dragons and the Rabbits. Dragons for an upset. Rabbitohs are due for a loss, so we're going to give this one to the Dragons. It could be an Origin hangover. Who knows? Broncos will be too good for the Knights, so they'll win by like 24. Roosters and Penrith. This is crazy, but I'm going with the Roosters. Penrith will lose a game or two, so Roosters to knock off the Panthers. I'm going to go, you know what? Another upset. Cronulla to beat Melbourne. Fuck it. Cronulla to beat Melbourne. I don't know why. And the Dogs to beat the Eels twice in the 1 year. I reckon it could happen. Dogs to beat the Eels. And let's go to round 16. Oh, Jesus Christ. Cowboys and Panthers. Why are we got to play the fucking Panthers? I'm just going to give it to Penrith. Fuck. Penrith by 2. I'll be upset. No, we're going Roosters over the Knights, and we're going the Roosters by 24 points. Excuse me. Eels and Seagulls. We're going to go Eels. I don't know. Eels to win by 8. Tigers, Storm. Storm by. We'll go by 8. Tigers to be competitive. Sharks and Dogs. Let's go the Dogs. Dogs by. Let's go 1. Matt Burton field goal or some shit. Who knows? All right, round 17. Again, I think this is Origin round. Oh, no, it's not, actually. I don't even know when Origin is. It confuses me all the time. Dragons versus Warriors. We're going to go with the Warriors. Huge upset. Warriors to go to Wollongong and win. Dolphins and Eels. Eels, I reckon they win like just. 2-point win for them. Panthers versus Knights. We're going to go with the Panthers, obviously. I reckon they win by, 30. 30. Storm and Seagulls. Tough, but we've got to go with Melbourne. Melbourne by 8. Broncos and Titans. Broncos probably by 24. It's the Rabbitohs and the Cowboys. And Nick from Australia versus CJ Moxley Cup. Now, the Rabbitohs beat the Cowboys last year at Accor Stadium. And the Cowboys are going to win. They're going to get revenge. The Cowboys will win by 4. CJ Moxley, if you're watching, it's coming. We're going to go to Sydney and win. If the Cowboys are going to do anything in 2023, they have to learn to win on the road a bit. Well, I mean, they did last year. Well, Cowboys were 3-3 in Sydney, so I reckon this is one that they can win. Roosters and Raiders. I'm going with the Roosters by 8. And, yeah, all right. Round 18. Sharks and Dragons. I'll go the Sharks over the Dragons. Sharks by 8. Hang on. What's the next one? Warriors and Rabbitohs. Rabbitohs win this game, but they win a real tight one. This is a grinder. I reckon Souths win by 4. Warriors will be very tough to beat over in New Zealand. Storm and Panthers. I'm going with the Panthers. I know it's in Melbourne, but I reckon the Panthers win by 2. Raiders and Titans. We're going to go with the Green Machine to win by 12. Cowboys and Tigers. Cowboys win that. They win it by 18. Broncos, Dolphins at the Gabba. Now, this is interesting. Can the Broncos continue their form in Brisbane? Can they keep winning games, but at the Gabba? I reckon they will win this one just by 4. I reckon we'll get a thriller. Dolphins will be up for the Broncos game, man. Dogs and Newey. We'll go to the Dogs. Dogs by 12. Manly and Roosters at Brookie. I reckon Roosters could win this game by like 2 points. Real tough game. Round 19. Right. Tigers and Sharkies. Got to go with the Sharks. Sharks by 4. Dragons and Raiders. I'm actually going to give this one to the Dragons. I'm going to give Dragons by 2. Dragons by 2. Eels and Warriors. Let's go with the Eels to win by 4. Real difficult game to pick there. Souths and Dogs. I'm going to go Souths. Souths by 2. That game will be very tough. Titans and Dolphins. Dolphins will beat the Titans. And the Dolphins will win by 4 points. Round 20. We're getting closer and closer to the finals, and the ladder's looking interesting. Newcastle versus the West Tigers. We're going to give this one to Newcastle at home. And we're going to go Newcastle by 8. Bulldogs versus Broncos at Belmore Sports Ground. This is a tough game. I'm going to give it to the Dogs. And I'm going to go the Dogs by 4. Manly and Cowboys at Brookie. I'm going to go with, I don't know why, but I'm going to tip the Seagulls to knock us off. That'll be upsetting, but we're going to go with the Seagulls in that one. Roosters and Storm. We're going to go with the Roosters to beat the Storm by 8 at the SCG. I reckon the Sharks and Warriors will be tough, but you know what? I reckon the Warriors could win against the Sharks in New Zealand. Warriors by 4. Panthers are going to annihilate the living hell out of the Dolphins. I reckon it could be by 38. And the Eels will destroy the Gold Coast, and I reckon they'll destroy them by 24 points. Okay. Next up. Okay, where are we? Stupid computer. Round 21. Whose idea was it to put the Dragons and Tigers on a Thursday night? But anyway, it's what we've got, and we're going to go with the Dragons to win at Wollongong. We're going to go with the Dragons by 12. It's a win that they need, and it's one that I reckon they're going to get. Warriors and Raiders in New Zealand. We're going to give it to the Warriors. We're going to go the Warriors by 4. That'll be a tough game, that one. Rabbitohs versus the Broncos at Sunshine Coast. I'm going to give it, Broncos to beat Souths by 2. That'll be a tough game, that one. Really tough game. Titans and Roosters. We're going to go with the Roosters here by 24 points. Newey versus Melbourne. Yeah, Melbourne. Melbourne by 18. 18's a decent margin. Cowboys and Eels. This is the revenge game that I've been looking forward to. Cowboys to beat the Eels by 12 from that fucked up prelim final where it was that bullshit fucking... Anyway. Panthers and Dogs. Going to go with Penrith. But I reckon by 4. Dogs will be up for it. The Billy Kickout and Matt Burton Cup. Sharks and Manly. We'll go with the Sharks. If it lets me click on the Sharks. Sharks by 2. Tough game, that one. The Battle of the Beaches. Round 22. Broncos, Roosters. But we're going to go with the Roosters by 12. Tigers and Rabbits. We're going to go with the Rabbitohs. Rabbitohs by 12. Storm and Eels. No, I don't know why it's got Eels, but I'm going Storm by 12. Raiders and the Knights. Knights for an upset. Newcastle they're just due for a win. Knights by 8. Dragons and Manly. We're going to go with Manly. We're going to go with Manly by 4. Penrith and Cronulla. Let's go with Penrith. I reckon Penrith by 2. Doggies to beat the Dolphins up at, where is it? Bundaberg, that game, Salter Oval. And the Cowboys to destroy the Titans. I'll be at this game. Let's go by 48. Fuck the Titans. They're gonna get hammered. Round 23. Roosters and Seagulls. This is tough. I'm gonna go Seagulls. I don't know why, but I'm going with the Seagulls to shock the weekend and knock off the Roosters. Titans and Warriors. I'm going to go the Warriors. The Warriors have a good record up there. Pretty sure it's a decent record. Panthers, Storm. Yeah, we're going to go the Storm. Storm by 2. Storm by 2. Cowboys and Broncos. I gave the Broncos the win over us in round 2, so I'm going to get some revenge and go the Cowboys here. Cowboys by 1. It's going to be a Tom Dearden field goal or Val Holmes. Dolphins and Knights. And this is a doubleheader in Perth, this one. And I'm actually going to go with the Dolphins to win and to win by 2. Rabbitohs versus Sharks. This is tough. I gave it to the Rabbitohs in round 1. I'm giving it to the Sharks now. Sharks by 4. And Eels and Dragons. I don't know why it's got Dragons, but I'm going to select the Eels to win this one. The Eels to win it by 2. And, yeah, Raiders over the Tigers. We'll go Raiders by 12. This ladder's looking very interesting. Well, around 24, and the ladder is looking interesting. I don't know why it's got 5th and 6th all over the place, but this ladder, man, it's really intriguing at the moment. The top 4 spot is still open for anyone. All right, round 24. Manly, Penrith. You got to go Penrith. You can't go against them. But Penrith win by 8. Cronulla versus the Gold Coast. Cronulla will win by 24. Gold Coast are horrible. Brisbane and Parramatta. This is a really big game, this one. Anything could happen here. I'm going to go Brisbane, and I'm going to go Brisbane by 2. Real tough game to pick there. Flip the coin. South versus St. George. We're going the Bunnies. It's in Cairns. We'll go the Bunnies by 8. That'll be a difficult game, that one. Tigers and Warriors. We're going to go the Warriors. Tigers taking a home game to New Zealand just isn't a good thing. It really isn't. Roosters versus the Dolphins. I think the Roosters will be too good. They'll win by 18 there. And Melbourne and Canberra. Canberra's record in Melbourne is unbelievable, and we're going to go for the upset. We're going to go Canberra to beat Melbourne. I don't know why, but we're doing it. And the Bulldogs to defeat the Knights by, say, 4 points. Okay, 2 more rounds to go. This is big. This is getting really big. Round 25, ladies and gentlemen. The Cowboys versus the Sharks. The Cowboys will win, and they'll win by 2. It'll be a tough game. Sharks aren't beating us twice in 1 year. I just don't see that happening. Warriors and Seagulls. I'm actually going to go with the Seagulls here. Seagulls by 2. That game will be very, very tough to pick. Eels and Roosters. Yeah, I think we're going to go with the Roosters. Roosters by 4. Tigers and Dolphins. I'm going to go the Dolphins. I do not know why. I have no clue, but I'm going the Dolphins by 4. Titan. Oh, Jesus Christ. I think the real question is Penrith by how much? 48 is pretty fair. Dragons and Storm. Got to go the Storm. Can't go against the Storm. Storm by 4 in that one. Knights and Rabbitohs. We'll go the Bunnies. That should get South into the top 8. Raiders and Dogs. No, we're going the Dogs, I think. I think the Dogs win. Dogs by 2. That'll be a tough game. I think this is the last round or the second last round. Panthers and Eels. Panthers by 4. Warriors and Dragons. I don't think any of them can even make the 8. Let's just go the Dragons. We'll give them a win. They're due. Dragons by 4. Dragons by 4. Dolphins and Cowboys. I think the Cowboys will win, especially up there in Townsville. Let's go the Cowboys by 8. Storm versus the Titans. Yeah, next joke. Storm by like fucking 30. Roosters, Tigers. Yeah, Roosters. Probably by 100 plus. What do we got here? Raiders and Broncos in Canberra. This is such a dangerous game. But we're just going to select Brisbane to win by 4. Dangerous game, though. Dogs and Seagulls. Seagulls. They're going to win. Seagulls can still make the 8. I reckon they can get one over the Dogs. And the Sharks to knock off the Knights. We'll go Sharks by 8. Difficult game. I think there's 1 round to go. Yeah, here we go. This is the final round. So much up for grabs. Broncos and Storm. Sorry, Broncos, but we have to go the Storm. And we're going to go the Storm by 4. Are the Broncos going to hold on to the top 8? We're going to find out. Manly versus Tigers. Manly will win, but they'll win by 18 points. Rabbitohs versus Roosters. This is so hard to call, but we're going to select the Roosters to get a bit of revenge. Rabbitohs got the win earlier in the year. We'll give the Roosters this one now. Dolphins and Warriors. Let's go with the Dolphins by 4. Why the hell not? Panthers versus Cowboys. You just got to go with Penrith, man. Love the Cowboys, but we ain't going to win that game. Panthers by like 4. Dragons versus Knights. We'll give it to the Dragons. Or do we give it to Newcastle? You know what? Let's just give it to Newcastle. Newcastle, I feel sorry for them. We'll give them an 8-point win. Because why the hell not? Titans and Bulldogs. We're going to give it to the Bulldogs. I'm going to go to the Bulldogs by 4. And the Sharks and the Raiders, we'll give it to the Sharks. We'll give the Sharks a 4-point win. Now, do we get a finals thing on this or what? How does it work? I don't think it does. No. So we've got to go back. We've got to go 1 forward. Okay. So this is how the ladder, now it's, I don't know why it's got all these teams upside down, but basically what we've got and what we've ended up with, we've got Penrith as first, Roosters in second, Storm in third, Cowboys in fourth, Bulldogs fifth, Sharks 6, Rabbitohs 7, and Broncos in 8. Wow. Manly 9th, Parra 10th, Warriors 11th, Raiders 12th, Dragons 13, Dolphins 14, Knights 15, Tigers 16, and the Titans last and 17th. So the final system, ladies and gentlemen, would be 1v4, obviously. So if you don't know how it works, it's first against fourth, second against third, fifth against eight, and sixth versus seven. So how this would work would get the Panthers and the Cowboys at Penrith, Roosters and Storm at Allianz, would get the Bulldogs and the Broncos probably at ANZ Stadium, and the Sharks and Rabbitohs out at Shark Park. Now, obviously, I would probably go with the Cowboys to win the premiership. That's my team. But it's not about that tonight. It's about the ladder predictor, and this is what it's ended up with. Panthers, Roosters, Storm, Cowboys, Bulldogs, Sharks, Rabbitohs, Broncos. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let me just fix this up here. You guys can let me know in the comment section below or in the live chat if you agree with my ladder predictor. It's been a little bit of fun. I mean, let's be honest here, guys. Anything can happen. It's a long season. Who the hell knows who's going to finish where? Anyway, guys, I'm going to get on out of here. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your night. And I'll see you in the next one. The Gold Coast Titans are fake news.